$500. It can change someone's life, but tonight, it won't even scratch the surface of the need for a deserving family.
In tonight's Pay It Forward, Pat McReynolds shows us how a simple act of kindness can be priceless.
Yeah, because it's your jugular vein.
Wayne Hemingway's gray beard may look a bit out of place as a student in the halls of Pima Medical Institute. Last year, he decided to ditch the high-altitude work of steel welding and take a shot at a late-in-life career change.
I want to use my head instead of my back to make a living, yeah.
Good choice. 3/4 through his schooling as a respiratory therapist, Wayne is at the top of his class, getting straight A's.
He's very dedicated.
He's so bright. He gets it. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen somebody who's that smart.
What he's accomplished to this point is impressive enough, but it becomes hard to comprehend when you realize Wayne is simply using school right now as a needed mental diversion.
Part of it is it helps actually to be a distraction to a point.
A few months ago, Wayne's wife, Nikki, started getting migraine headaches. They don't have insurance, so they waited to go to the emergency room until the pain was too much to bear. That's when a CT scan revealed she has tumors throughout her body, including 2 in her brain. There is no cure.
You're just dumbfounded. There's nothing, I mean, it's almost like your mind shuts off because you just can't believe what you've just heard. I love Nikki with all my heart.
It's like he and Nikki are soulmates, and it's like losing half of himself. And so I don't know how he's holding up as well as he is. I think he's holding up better than I am.
He comes off as a very strong person, but you can tell he just doesn't know where to go.
And soon he may have nowhere to go. Nikki was the sole breadwinner, but now can no longer work. The little money they have needed for her treatment means Wayne can no longer pay for school.
I just pray that we can get him through this, that the community will help.
As part of that effort, his classmate Bethany contacted CBS5.
Hi, Wayne. I know you don't ask for help, and you're always there to help all of us. So this is just a little help. You're always paying it forward to us. This is our help back to you.
Finally, the moment proved too much for this pillar of strength.
We appreciate you.
Wayne's wife, Nikki, made him promise that no matter what happens to her, no matter how bad it gets, he would finish his degree.
You look beautiful.
We caught up with his inspiration at a benefit ride for Nikki this past weekend.
I'm so proud of him now. I just can't even stand it. I'm so proud of what he's doing and what he's accomplishing. He's my best friend. I don't want to leave him.
Still, even in their darkest days, they have hope.
I'm not scared anymore. I love him. I think that's what a real marriage is, and that's what real love is. When you love somebody, you do whatever you have to help them get through.
We're going to be okay. Somehow. I don't know how, but I know that we're going to be okay. I'm going to graduate. Yes, I am.
Pat McReynolds, CBS5 News.
Wow.
True love right there.
Instantly, I'm just teary-eyed. If you'd like to help, an account has been set up at Wells Fargo for Nikki. The information you need to donate is right there on our website at cbs5az.com.
Well, if you are a regular watcher of our Pay It Forward segments, you know that we like to surprise people with $500.
But we had a little unexpected help with the surprise tonight that could have been disastrous. We're just glad it all ended with some laughter and smiles.
Pat McReynolds explains.
That's why I needed to talk.
Even though he's $500 richer, I feel a little sorry for Chris Fallon.
I was scared to death.
To explain, we need to go back in time a week or so ago at Nancy Ockman's Glendale home.
So I walked out my front door and I noticed that there was water all over the ground, and I looked and my pipe was spraying water everywhere.
Someone had tried to steal her copper pipes. In fact, she had to spend all of her extra monthly money on new pipes and had very little left over for the steel cage to protect her investment. She didn't tell that to Chris, a manager at Empire Metal Products, but he must have seen it in her face.
We don't normally do installations. That's not part of our business, but to offer to come do it as a side from the company just after work to come put it in.
I said, you know, how much do I owe you? And he said, no, I told my boss about your situation. He said, no, don't charge her anything. So it was like, Wow. I was so amazed. I started crying, actually.
Sweet story, right? Well, hold on. In order to surprise Chris and get him back to Nancy's house, his boss, this guy named Sal, told him he was in big trouble.
Oh, he'll get me. He'll get me. You don't have to worry about that.
He told Chris that Nancy was very unhappy with his work and that she had even called a news crew to grill him.
Hi. Hi there. Come on in.
We knew none of this when he walked in and we came out of hiding, but watched the fear and then the relief on his face.
I had decided that you were so nice to me and so sweet that I wanted to pay you back for being so great. So, this is $500.
Oh, man. No.
And I wanted to pay it forward to you since you were so nice to me.
Well, that's so wonderful. Thank you so very much.
I guess with that much cash in hand, it's easy to forgive.
Well, I got set up pretty well on that. I thought we were walking into a very upset customer emergency scene over here, so it was quite a surprise.
The great thing about Chris is he won't get me today. It'll be like a month. He'll just sit and wait for a real good opportunity.
And who could blame him? But today, we're focusing on Chris's better nature.
You don't really find a lot of people who are willing to go the extra mile, and when you do, you really want to thank them for doing it.
I don't know what I would do without people like Chris.
Really, it's just the appreciation of the people that makes it all worthwhile, but it's fantastic.
Thank you, dear. That was very nice of you.
For this episode of Punk'd, Pay It Forward, I'm Pat McReynolds.
Well, you've heard the expression, working your fingers to the bone.
Well, that might not be that far off for this week's Pay It Forward recipient who has spent nearly 40 years through pain, sweat, and yes, even tears, bringing joy to young girls here in the Valley.
Pat McReynolds has her story.
It's easy to see and understand how much work goes into becoming a graceful dancer. The students at Campbell's Dance Studio regularly display their moves in venues all over the world.
Here's a nutcracker jacket that I made.
But there is a woman behind the stage, usually buried in fabric, a tape measure always within reach.
37. Thank you.
Working tirelessly to marry together beauty with skill.
And every year I say, this is it. This is it. No more. This is retirement year. But I really enjoy doing it.
For 38 years, Karen Rogers has been the costume director at Campbell's, fitting and refitting generation after generation, costume after costume, more than 1,000 a year.
There's times that I've seen a costume at a competition and I'll punch whoever's sitting beside me and say, oh, that's so cute. And they'll say, well, you made it. And I don't remember because I do so many.
Karen never let anyone enter her designs for awards because there was a $25 entry fee. That's just how she is. Many people didn't even know that she's a 2-time breast cancer survivor because she kept coming to work, kept making costumes, even through the worst of chemotherapy.
I'd say, Karen, don't you want time off? And she would say, no. When I come here, you all treat me like I'm well and normal. When I'm home, then I'm sick.
You got to keep living. You got to keep going.
And back, closing first.
Katie Beeson has been wearing Karen's creations since she was a little girl. Now an instructor, she wanted to finally give Karen the credit she is due.
Hi, Karen.
What's going on?
I know how much time you put behind the scenes and everything. And on behalf of me and my other fellow teachers and the students who love your costumes and our parents, and on behalf of Channel 5's Pay It Forward, I want to award you with this $500.
Oh my goodness. It's not fair.
Last year, without her knowledge, Karen was entered in the costume category. She won, of course. And with the curtain soon closing on her career, she now knows her handiwork and influence will live on, her legacy secure.
I really just hope that they think back on the memories that Karen tried to make me beautiful.
Pat McReynolds, CBS 5 News.
Amazing story
Something
there.
tells me those children will never forget her.
I know. Well, here's something even more amazing. She wears a defibrillator. It's implanted because she collapsed once and her heart actually stopped. But she just keeps plugging away.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing. If you know someone like Karen and you'd like to nominate them for next week's Pay It Forward, just head to our free website, CBS5AZ.com.